Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conquer the Frontier at the New Frontier. We have reached episode number 24, and it's December of year 3. There's some snow on the forecast, and Nordic and I are starting at our very first and old house, which is just a very primitive little shack. We have been living in this, and to be honest with you, I think our backs have had enough of these very uncomfortable beds or makeshift beds. So it is time for us to upgrade, and Nordic and I were thinking that we will clear a little bit of a space over this way so we can build a proper farmhouse. And I think we have selected and elected one that we are going to build. We need some building materials, which we're going to source from our own sawmill. So yeah, we need to make sure the sawmill is well stocked. But yeah, to keep it well stocked, I think we're going to look to clear some of the trees around the greenhouse, so it's got a bit more space and openness about it. And then I think we're also going to clear some trees behind our silage bunker, so we can connect this little track that runs down the side and behind our chicken coop to the rear of our silage bunker, so we have a nice little run through. And that's another thing that we are going to be hoping for today, is that our silage is going to be fully fermented. It's at 88%, so at some point later on today this will reach 100. We can uncover it and get that loaded into the BGA to make some money. And I think we're hoping to buy a belt system to make the job a little bit easier, as the little hopper for the BGA is only here, so it makes sense rather than us ferrying it. But as it is winter and we've got some logging and forestry to do, Nordic and I have decided to treat ourselves to a new tractor. The Massey has done a fantastic job, but I think we do need to upgrade it. We're not going to be selling the Massey. We'll keep that as the old workhorse that can pull the trailer and the smaller equipment. And we're certainly keeping the Xylon, because that is the front-running main workhorse of the farm. But we are going to be getting something that is going to be comparable to the Xylon, probably actually a little bit beefier, so that we've got two well-horsepowered tractors. So we're going to head off over to the shop and yeah, show you what Nordic and I have selected to purchase. Alright, we've made it to the store. It's a very bitter 5 degrees at the moment, so yeah, Nordic and I are keeping warm in the cab. Alright, I think Nordic is going to hop out and buy our tractor. I'm going to wait here and can't wait to show you what we are going to buy. And here she is, the Steer, and this is the 9190, and I think this is a 190 horsepower tractor, so it's actually more horsepower than the Xylon, but that's okay. I think the Xylon is around 150. But yeah, this is a bit more compact than the Xylon. It hasn't got sort of the custom space at the front for the front loader and an area on the back for the sprayer tank and such, so it is very much a conventional tractor. But look at it, it is lovely. It's got a lovely colour scheme, red and white, with the white Michelin tyres and rims. That looks fantastic. Right, well, Nordic was the person who came up with the idea for buying this tractor, so he gets first dibs on driving it. We will jump into the Xylon and follow him back. The only bad thing about that Steer is it hasn't got a beacon, but I think it can be forgiven because yeah, it is a very nice tractor indeed. Right, looks like Nordic is going to follow us back, so let's head back. Okay, we've made it back. I'm going to park up the Xylon. We're going to be using the new tractor to do some of the log winching that we have got planned. So let me beacon off and yeah, we can park up the Xylon. Luckily the winches are just to the side of me, so I'm not going to be blocking Nordic from getting them. I look forward to seeing the Steer do some winching. Be interesting to see how that 190 horsepower does. Just leaping over some big bags there. It is a little bit slower than the Xylon, but yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. Right, I think Nordic is going to do the winching, so I'm going to jump in the excavator. And, hey, Nordic. Yes, we'll be using the excavator to do some of the tree felling and delimbing, as when we do it manually, it does end up being a little bit of a mess sometimes. Right, so let me see if I can just drop the bucket off over here. Alright, the forestry header is behind the other winch, so I'm just going to try and reach for that. There we go, we have got the forestry machine, so let's head over to the first site, which I think is going to be around the greenhouse area. Alright, it's a little bit slow going, but we've made it over here, so we can turn on the forestry machine. I think I'm going to start with this rather large tree over here, and I've set the harvester to do max length cutting, as yeah, we want to just have the tree at the full length but just delimbed. So let's set up to cut down this one, and yeah, we'll clear a good amount of space around this area. Okay, we have just cut our first tree down over here behind the chicken shed, and I think Nordic's going to do the remainder of the chopping behind the silage bunker, so we've got a nice wide turning space and track that we can build into the back of the bunker. Right, I think that means it's our turn to go in the new steer. Aha, here comes Nordic. I think he's got the front bucket with the stones in to help weigh down, and the winch attached as well. Fantastic. Right, so that means it's our turn to hop in the steer. Thanks, Nordic. It'll be exciting to use this for the first time. Let's hop in. Oh yeah, there we go. It's a very sort of classic looking cab. It's not a modern tractor, so it's got no displays, just dials and switches and levers, which is what I like, to be honest with you. It adds a good amount of character. We feel like we're quite high up, so can't see too far at the cab. So let's crack on, and we can do some winching. I'm interested to see how well the steer can pull. So let's head on around here, shall we? And really just attach to the back and see if I can pull straight away with the odd direction I've got to turn in. So let's get this tree winched up. I don't know if Nordic has left any behind the greenhouse. We'll have to wait and see. But let's see if we can pull. Oh my goodness, absolute ease. I guess that's what we would expect from a 190 horsepower tractor. And luckily we've got a good amount of space here, so we can manoeuvre. It was... oh, well, I say that, but I've just snagged one of the tip of the tree with a crappy little bush, so that means that it's flicked me right back. Yeah, I'm sure in normal circumstances this bush would just get completely crushed by the power, or something would snap and give way. But yeah, I guess this is classic physics. Right, let's hop back in the steer, and hopefully we can now make the turn. Yes, we can. Oh, look. Nordic's looks like he's having a tipping good time there. It is difficult when operating the forestry machine, trying to get the tree to topple in the right direction so it then doesn't get jammed on other trees. Can be quite entertaining and frustrating at the same time. But this tractor has got absolutely no worries with pulling some of the heavy logs, so that is good news for us. Right, we can deposit it there and get this dropped off in the spawn zone. There we go. Oh, we've got 30,000 litres. So that is good. We have set the wood goods that are being produced from the sawmill to no longer sell automatically. They're getting stored up, so we have a good amount of materials in storage for when we need them to build our farmhouse. So I'm going to get busy doing some winching. I'll just quickly drive over here and make sure that we haven't got any logs left. I can't see any. Nope, that's good. Right, we can turn around and get the logs that Nordic is chopping down winched nicely into the sawmill. We might go for a twofer this time. Well, I'm not sure how Nordic has managed this, but he's managed to climb a tree. Let's see if we can jostle him down. Oh, there we go. He's landed. Nice. Right, we carry on. Okay, done a good amount of winching. Nordic and I are going to swap places yet again. And I'm going to be cutting a row down here, just so there's a good amount of turning space near to the silage bunker. But Nordic has cut a path all the way around the back of the BGA to the road. So that is going to serve us quite well, I think. And Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll probably start this end and cut this little cluster of 3 that's here, and then cluster of 2 to the left, and then there's another 4 down that way, just to make sure we've got a nice clear track. So yeah, let's get cracking with that, shall we? Okay, the area is cleared. We've done some more tree felling. Nordic is finishing off the winching. So I'm going to set about making sure that our path nicely unites around the back of the BGA and back to the road. So I'm going to get to drawing that out. Okay, it's taken a little while, but we have laid some gravel. So we've got a nice track that runs behind and keeps the rustic theme. So yeah, this is looking quite good. And this track runs all the way behind the BGA and down towards the main road there. I say main road, it is purely just a track, but nonetheless it connects everything up quite nicely. And we've still got a nice little section here where we can turn around when dealing with the chickens. And Nordic has started construction of a little gravel road that is going to run up the hill eventually to something that we do not know yet. Potentially some future building plans. Right, I think it is probably time for us to see about constructing a construction site for our farmhouse. Right, Nordic and I have elected this space for our farmhouse to go, so we're going to set up the construction site. Okay, Nordic has ran off because he is very excited to see the construction site that has been constructed here. Ironically, we need a construction site for the construction. So yeah, we've got some materials to start dropping in here now. Wood beams, planks long, and planks. Looks like there is some stuff here already, but yeah, we need to keep it readily supplied so it will build our farmhouse for us. And once it is built, we'll look to sort of manage some of the area around it. Probably build in a track and something here, but I think there are some steps here that are going to go down towards the greenhouse, which will be quite nice. So let's jump in the pickup and we can get some building materials over to the construction site. I think the pickup is tucked in here, but I can see we've got some building materials outside the sawmill, which is very, very nice. Alright, let's hop in and we can go grab the trailer. There we go, trailer attached. Right, we can park up and get our 1 pallet of wood beams, planks and planks long. Should fit in the trailer just fine. There we go. 1 of each item, which is 1,000 litres, so that's perfect. We can hop back in. Nordic is in the passenger seat, and we should be able to drop this off. Now, I'm not sure what is the next stage of materials that will be needed, but yes, we will have to keep checking it regularly to make sure that it is constructing. But it will be nice to see the different stages of the construction site. So if I just unlash, I think if we drive up here, we should see these plop in. There we go, it was down the side, and we have dropped off our first materials. Fantastic. There we go. You can hear the building work underway. Be interesting to see all the different stages of the farmhouse build. But yeah, looking forward to it. In fact, I think I can see some foundations already. Nice. Right, I think now it's time to go and get the belt from the store, so we can drop off this trailer, head down to the store, grab the belt that we need for the silage bunker to shift the silage into the BGA. So let's get that sorted. There we go. We have made it back from the store with our belt system. It's a little bit fiddly to get it set up, but I think we've got it set how we need it to load all of the silage from the bunker into the BGA hopper. We might have to tweak it as it gets deeper and deeper into the stockpile, but that is going to earn us some good BGA profits. And yeah, we're making quite a good amount of wood materials from the sawmill. Now it's fully loaded with the trees we've cut down today. But that is it for today. So I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like us to do, then feel free to leave a comment. And as always, check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of today's session. All there's left to say is, I hope to see you again next time on Conquer the Frontier at the New Frontier. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.